Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about something that was discussed a little bit in the comments of one of my other videos from a subscriber. And basically it was, what happens when you cross Discus, as if, there's a purity thing going on, right? So like, for example, I have two snake skins that have paired off. So, you know, when you think about how everybody's talking about strains and this and that and everything else, that's true. There's strains, but none of them are pure. And what I want to show you by that is the same two parents can produce very different babies. Yeah. Now, my snakeskins were born to snakeskin parents. Okay. Snakeskins always show their colors late, so they haven't even patterned up entirely yet. But they're breeding before they patterned up. It's amazing. So those two snakeskins look like that, right? And where is he? Let me find you their brother. Now there's 16 bar skate snakeskins, and out of the same parents. Oh, he's back here. Okay. I had my hands in the tank a minute ago, and he doesn't like that. He gets shy. So he's back there. Same parents, same DNA, and it's a higher end German strain. So your babies are not all going to turn into 16 bar snakeskins. They're going to throw a bunch of these 8 bar regular Turks. Otherwise, they're all the same color. It's just the pattern that's changed. Another example, I have 11 of, okay, well he's a pretty good example, 11 of these beauties, and they're called brilliant Turks, okay, so that's, and what makes them different is their striped pattern, and it's supposed to get thick like this, even thicker. I have a better one in here, I'll find in a second, and but you're supposed to have that linear pattern going on. Here's probably the nicest example, right there, okay. But guess what? This is one of its relatives, and it basically looks like a red Turk. It doesn't have the desired connecting patterns. It's never going to. And it's just looks like a regular old Turk. But they're from the same brood, same parents. And if you look at the 11 I bought, okay, the website, if you went and went to the German website and they showed you these fish, they would show you that nice one I showed you. That's what you'd see as the example, right? But I've only got, out of 11 fish, maybe 3 that look like that. Like this one. See, that one's broken up too. Broken up. That one looks nice. I literally think I only got 3 of them. So when it comes to preserving the line, so to speak, okay, it's just a bunch of sales hype. I mean, they're gonna throw different fish no matter what you do. You could breed pigeon bloods. He's a panda, but and a panda is actually created by mixing a pigeon blood with a red Turk, like the big guy in the back corner, or the one behind you there. So pigeon blood in one of those made these a panda, and that's a Jack Watley creation. But it's just a mutt, like all the rest of them. And I've seen many videos with pairs of pandas producing panda babies and producing blue rim, red face or red body, whatever they call them, red cover, blue rim red cover babies coming out of pigeon bloods. It's a genetic throwback. They just throw them. So yeah, it's just, there's no guarantees when you're breeding what patterns you're going to get. And you would think all my babies should look like this, but only like 3 of them do. out of 11. Some of them are like halfway between, but broken lines, that's it's not what you're after. You're after like that one. And you're after this guy. And what you're really after is this guy. And I've seen these with even thicker blue bars, so that could change with age. But yeah, the pattern is it's not guaranteed. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. And the little guy's doing good. He's viciously eating pellets now. Let's show a little. Although I just fed them a little while ago, we're gonna put a little more in. We're gonna show them so they get all excited. And everybody's heading over to the spot. I'm just gonna throw a pinch in there so you can sort of see when they're awake and not half asleep how they go for these. There we go. Pinch is in. You're gonna notice it, and boom, boom, boom. See, little guy's eating them up. The yellow guy's all over it. Everybody eats now. He even ate flakes this morning, so he's snapped out of his new discus mode, and he's off to the races. Makes me very happy. My new catfish are doing wonderful. No problems. Beautiful fins. No sign of any disease. I've ordered up myself another box of Fritz Paraclens. I haven't done anything to my tank in a couple months in the precautionary sense. So I'm just going to do a little food dosing to make sure the new fish didn't bring something with him. There's definitely nothing external. There's always the potential for internal. So we're gonna be dosing their food next week. It's gonna arrive next week because the fast shipping was just not fair. So and nobody's in trouble right now. Again, I'm doing this in a precautionary sense. So I'll just slow boat the shipping and. We'll get that in here. We'll dose up some food. We'll make sure everybody's guts are cleansed, and we should continue to see some really, really nice growth rates. It's much better to keep your fish eating and give them an occasional deworming because you never know where it's coming from. And I put new fish in, but I mean, it could come in with my bloodworms. It could come in with my beef heart. You just never know. It could come in with the damn tap water for all you know. I mean, it shouldn't, but you never know. So, could come in on my hands when I'm sticking my hands in the tank. So yeah, we're gonna take care of that, and yeah, really, everything's just going good. I've been tackling the blackbeard algae issue. I haven't used any chemicals. I'm just manually killing it. That's been my approach. What I do is, like this spire was covered in black last week. Now it's all nice and beautifully clean. It also had a beautiful green algae I didn't want to lose, but it is what it is. And so I just removed all the plants and everything from this piece of ceramic, and I filled up my water bucket with, like, my tap water's pretty hot. I keep my tank up, and so it's steaming hot, and I just dropped it right in the bucket, and I left it there for 20 minutes, and I cooked all the algae. And then I didn't scrape it off because that's what I did with this one, and you can see it's a little bright on the edges. It's sort of getting better on its own, which is nice to see because bacteria is turning the white a little darker. But I actually scraped the paint off it, so I didn't do that with this one. I just plopped it back in with the dead algae on it, and here we are. So it's nice and clean now. And I did it to the big piece of wood in the back too. It was covered at one point. I didn't do them all at once because that would have caused pneumonia spike. So you just take one out, do one, take another one out, do one. Another day, pull out your plastic plants, do them, plopping them all back in with the dead blackbeard on it. It turns red, and then your fish eat it. It's fish food after that. So next plant I'm going to have to do is this guy here. He's a fake plant. You can see it's sort of building up. So I'll do that, and this dark area up here will turn red, and then it'll just turn into fish food. Might even do that today. And yeah, so that's how I've combated my blackbeard algae issue. It's pretty much almost gone. And when I get a plant covered with it, what I do is I bring it over here in my 70-gallon because there's no nutrients in here. This is fresh tap water that's been treated with prime. There's no fish in here. It's cycled, I guess, but it's like a no fish cycle. And I pre-treat my water in here. So because there's no real nutrients in here, and the blackbeard algae needs tons of it, and I've reduced the light because I have a cover, I throw the plants in here. They stay alive. The plants stay alive long enough for the blackbeard to die off, and then you just put them back in your tank. So it's another chemical-free way to deal with your stuff. And of course, this tank is the same temperature as my main tank, so that the plants won't melt, right? And that's working. And I tested it first on these guys here, these stemmy-looking green plants. They're alive, and they were absolutely thick in blackbeard. And I was trying to pull it off, but it was just breaking the leaves and going to break the stems. And if I left it any longer, the blackbeard was going to smother that plant to death. So I popped it over like I just showed you that piece of Anubis, and I left it sit there for about a week, and now it's pristine. And I've reintroduced it back into the tank, still alive. So that nice big Anubis plant that I spent like 6 months trying to grow out from nothing, hopefully I save it too. And yeah, actually there's two of those twiggy guys. I only have 2 little twigs of it. There's another one up here. Still got a bit of dead algae on it, but that's okay. The snails are already after it. And the catfish eat algae, so I've definitely seen them munching on algae. We got one back here. There he is, nice and healthy. Everybody's doing good. Bit of a long one today, but thank you so much for watching. And remember, there's no guarantees on strains. You can have 2 fish, and then the babies end up a completely different pattern, like completely different, even a different color. So don't pay too much attention to worrying about mixing discus. It's all nonsense. And you know what? Let's say my panda bred with the snake skin. I've seen what that happens if those 2 went on. You get a snake skinned instead of the checkerboard look, they get the snake skin pattern, but they look like the panda or the pigeon blood. So you get like a snake skin pigeon blood. It's really cool looking. So there's lots of, you mix the right things and you get real pretty fish. So don't be afraid. Have a great day. They're all mutts, by the way. The only pure discus is a wild discus.